Okay. So we are speaking today because it's coming up to International Animation Day. And that's a chance to celebrate the art of animation. And uh, I guess, in my view, online slots and casino games have actually come a long way in the last 10 years or so. And a lot of that, I would say, is down to artists, down to graphic designers and to animators. And today you're joining me, Evgeny Vittman, the art director of game studio Peter and Sons. Thanks for speaking to me. Firstly, tell me a bit about yourself, what your job is, and a bit more about Peter and Sons.
All right. Hey ho, and thank you for speaking to me about this stuff.
Right.
I'm always happy to share. I love attention as well. So
Cool.
yeah, well, for me that was a pretty long journey that I ended up working for gambling, right? And I started as a 3D artist, and I was working for a Unigine corporation. It's a company that makes a 3D engine for games, right? And I was doing 3D models, low poly 3D models, and 3D animations. So, and then I switched into 2D because, well, it's more interesting from my point of view. So I was doing 2D games, like casual games. I was working on my own projects and stuff like that. And then I I started, well, to draw porn. I was drawing a lot of porn. So when you have a task, for example, to make 10 composition, and that was all illegal, right? And using the visual language and the style of a cartoon, for example, Futurama, and you need to deliver 10 compositions using the characters in different poses and stuff like that. So I was working as a porn artist for at least a year
Okay.
of my life. And at the same time, I was looking for a position as a game artist. And I was super young. And then I sent my resume to Walt Disney Studio, right? And I forgot about it. And then they called me. They said, like, Evgeny, we want to talk to you. Come over to have an interview with us. And like I came over, and then there was this super celebrity art director, Marvin Hill, and he's so professional and cool, you know. Everybody knows him, and the studio is big everywhere. This Disney scribbles and stuff, and they are making games. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. And then he's asking me questions, and I barely could speak English. And then in the end, he said, like, yeah, fantastic stuff. But have you ever had a chance to draw in Walt Disney style? And I said, like, hell yes, I have. And can you show it to me? And I was like, are you sure you want to see? Because like it's something
Mm.
not very appropriate. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he saw it, and he's like, dude, you're accepted, because I like hundreds of Disney princesses and different poses. And
Right, okay.
so I worked for Walt Disney for 2.5 years, and then I moved forward because they shut down our office in Prague. I moved to Game Loft, and then from Game Loft I moved to my own stuff. I was freelancing for a long time. Then I moved to King, from King to Game Duel, and Game Duel I was working with Ian Bowden and Todd Phillips. These are also celebrities. Ian Bowden, he was an art director for GTA 5 from Rockstar. He's a
Wow.
co. I think he has a huge pie of shares as well from there. So, it was a lot of experience. Then I moved to Studio 49, which was actually founded by Ian Bowden as well. And it was all casual games, right? Casual game, computer games and stuff like that. And for me, even thinking about gambling games, it was like, no, 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 you don't go there. You don't know. This is the last like, you know, thing you as a artist will do, and you will stop even respecting yourself if you start doing it. But at the same time, I was drawing porn, and I loved it.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I got a offer from Casumo, because they were opening a studio, and they wanted to create a new genre. It's a mix between casual games and casino games. And I thought,
Mm.
like, wow, this is something very interesting, to take the casino anticipation and stuff and implement it into the casual stuff. And this can explode the market. So we started to work on a fantastic project, but then they said, like, no, let's start with something more simple, more kind of conservative. But well, we were working there. That was fantastic. We made around 20 games, right? And then they shut down the studio, and like we made Peter and Sons.
Yeah.
And here we are. But what I've learned as an artist working for gambling games, this is fantastic, because you can do whatever you want, because people actually appreciate it. Users, they appreciate it. They want to see new things, and implement whatever you want. Your hands are untied. There is no like this kind of ethical regulations, right? You can want you want to add some violence. You will add violence, of course, in the limits, right?
Within limits, yeah.
Nobody gives a flying shit about the visual language. You can do whatever you want there, and you can experiment, and people appreciate it. You push it out as a project, and it's like, wow, this is something new. We have never seen it because there is still no mainstream here,
Mm.
and I don't think that it will ever happen the mainstream because users are completely different from the casual games users, right? And that's why as an artist, I'm enjoying working for gambling. And right now we have like what 6 artists working for Peter and Sons, and all of them they are coming from casual games, from even AAA games, right? And they're like, what the f-? Wow, this is fantastic. We can do whatever we want. Like, yes, and like, yeah, I'm pretty happy. As an artist, I fulfilled myself here. So
Well, how does it work when you guys decide, okay, we're going to make a new slot? Who decides what the theme's going to be? Who decides what what comes first? Now, obviously, there's the maths engine, there's the selection of bonus features that are all going to combine, but then there's obviously the artwork too. What's the first thing that happens when you guys say, right, we've got to make a new slot?
yeah, well, well, usually how it happens, like an artist, they have some screw in the butt, which is rotating there for a long time that they want to do this. They want to do this, like,
Right.
and this is usually like this, like while you're working on a project, but then you're collecting some references and stuff like that, and then oh, this is fantastic. I like the setting. I would like to do the game in this setting, and this is what usually happens. Like, I love this mechanics. I want to do this mechanics, and I have this idea. Look at this setting. Like, I want to do this, and then pam, pam, pam. So everything is farting and whistling. And like, but of course, we also analyze the market a little bit, right? And also the time when you're going to release the project. For example, if it is like October or November or something like this, so it should be more kind of Halloweenish thing, right? And then you look at the market, what's going on there, what are the releases which are going to happen,
Hmm.
and then think like, ah, there are too many, for example, Egyptian themes. So
Yeah.
like maybe it's interesting to put something else there, so it's standing out. So yeah, well, it's a collective kind of decision, right? Even if the artist has a screw in the butt,
Hmm.
but then well, there is a voice of rationalism from coming from Mitri, for example, right? He's like
Okay.
shrinking his face and it's like, yeah, well,
All right.
like
So creative inspiration meets kind of
yeah,
commercial strategy.
exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, well, we also like, well, this is my philosophy that you need to allow artists to express. And that's why, for example, if someone is saying like, no, this is not my theme, I cannot work in this, for example, sci-fi, I'm really bad at this. And if you feel that the artist is not going to be motivated to work in sci-fi theme, for example, don't make him or her to do
Ah,
this, right? Why to torture? Like we're here to not only to work but also to have fun because
yeah.
we're Peter Sons, we're family here, right? It's a family business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's say you've got, a slot in the works. How many artists are going to work on that? Is it one that
One,
you find the one with the passion for that theme and
exactly.
then ah,
It's a one artist, one programmer, right, and one musician, and we have also a animator who is helping here and there. Yeah, very cool dude. He's animating super fast and he's very technical. And that's why this combination, like the artsy fartsy artist and then a more technical dude on an animation,
yeah.
it works pretty well.
So one slot is someone's baby.
Exactly, and this works so far because like this is your stuff and you're proud of it and you want to share it with your friends and like even if it is a slot game. Like the other day I had a conversation with one of the artists and he's like, like sometimes I feel sad that the game doesn't live long, right? Because it's a
Right.
big rotation of the games, right? Right now the amount of slot games which are released are like crazy. Like I don't know, 20,000 a month or something like this when it was like 5,000 a month like a couple of years ago.
Mm,
And he says like, yeah, I'm sad, but from the other point of view, well, I have it, right? I have it and I
yeah.
am collecting experience, and every slot is like it's like a story for me. Yeah, we're working for like 4 or 5 months on this, and then like, bam, we have a fantastic baby that I want to share. I'm showing it to my friends. Look what I've created. So it's pretty cool. And more than that, they are showing off with their stuff on Behance, for example, or ArtStation,
Okay.
Instagram. like that, and they're collecting followers. For us, for artists, it's very important to have a tap and to feed our ego.
Yes. So what I was going to ask is part of feeding that ego the end result? Is it the success? And not every slot can succeed. Some slots are a surprise success. Some of them
Yes,
sink without trace.
yes, it is.
Are the artists connected to the success of the slot? Do they know whether the slot has become big or not, or do they just keep the artwork and that's their legacy?
Well, of course, the main thing for them is just to make a project, to push it and sit. Like I made a project, bam, stamped, like done. But then, like you have the feedback. Also, you have a feedback from the reviewers, and
Right.
sometimes you think like, they don't understand art. They don't understand art. Why they need to say like this is a fantastic art style or something like this? And sometimes they give a lower grade, for example, and you think like, shit, but I was working on this baby, but still, it's my baby. I'm proud of her. Like that's fantastic. And yeah, the success of the game plays a big role. Like, for example, we have Barbarossa, which is doing pretty well, and we're all super proud of it.
Right.
And all the artists are like, like let's look at the features. Like here it is, the explosions, the gun there, like fantastic. We want to do something like this, so it's
Mm.
more dynamic and stuff like. So we're learning on it, and yeah.
Okay. And can you tell when you're in the design stage if a slot is going to be a hit or a miss, how special or otherwise it's going to be? Or do you not know
From
until the end?
from the visual point of view, you cannot. Because like sometimes you think like like this is shit, right, but well I've done it, like well people and what the this is pretty fantastic, and then you push it on Behance, for example, and you get the Behance award for it, and it's like what, like but I've drawn it with like my left hand, for example, on a lap, like what the is going on, and from the other point of view you are spending like nights and days like rendering some stuff, and it's like fuck, this is going to explode the market, and then nope. So from the visual point of view, you cannot.
And so I'm going to put you on the spot here and pick a game. Pick a game that you are most proud of. And we're talking from an artistic perspective here. Over the
That
last,
I
year or
made
two.
or
Well,
my
okay,
studio.
give me two. Give me one that your studio has made and one that is your baby. And then we can
So
go and check it
my
out.
favorite baby, I will talk about her first, right? This is
Okay.
Shibaba. Oh, I love this game. Like I was like, well, I love the experiment and this low poly look of it, and like everything there. There is something magical there, I think, hypnotizing this movement of the characters on the foreground, right? The music that Rio made, like everything was like something tribal there. I love it. And I have experimented there a lot, right, with the spine animations as well. I've made some interesting stuff that I'm proud of, and the symbols. Well, for me, that's fantastic. Yeah, but I think the best looking studio game is Peter Hunter so far. For me, like for me, this is something like a reference of everything, because when you open the game, when you start the game and you go into this world, right, this forest, and you can see these little animals and insects here and there, and the dude is standing there, and it's all alive, and it's like a goddamn cartoon. And like I don't know, I love this game. Like everything is nailed there. I'm proud of Alexei.
Listening to you makes me want to. I mean, I've been in the gambling industry for 20 years and I've played every slot, every slot going over the many, many years. But talking to you makes me want to actually slow down and actually, look more deeply into the kind of love that's been put into these games. Another question. I'm going to put you on the spot again. Which slot? I don't know how much notice you take of the other studios out there and what they're producing, but is there a slot that's come out that you've seen and that you wish you'd made?
Oh wow. Well, from the visual point of view, right? I really like Rap Cat Rap. Wait, I will tell you.
Google it.
Rap Cat Studio. Rap Cat Studio.
Yeah.
Like they have
Okay.
fantastic slots, and well, they have game art. And wait, let me open Rap Cat game. Uh, there was this game, the Moby Dick, and from my point of view, that was fantastically done. Like how they kind of played around with the sea waves and stuff like this. This has this feeling of old cartoons, how they mixed it up with this modern graphics and stuff like that. I was like, when I saw it, like, wow, this is something. You know, this is from the visual point of view,
Yeah.
sophisticated. Like, yes.
Nice. You guys are coming up with all of your stuff is original, right? There's no you haven't done any branded slots, so tie-ups and licenses with bands or TV shows or whatever. I guess you haven't done any of those yet. But if you did get the chance, what is the one branded slot that you would like to make?
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, I will do right away. I will just run there, please. Let me do this.
Okay. Well, somebody already has, but I guess you could
Think
do
of
this.
Rick.
You could do the sequel or number 3 or number 4.
Well,
Right.
whatever. We would do it the best with a lot of
Okay.
explosions and blood
Yeah.
and stuff. That would
All
be
right.
fantastic.
Okay. Well, we'll put that out there. Maybe you'll get the call. Um, and I got a couple of final questions about the future. Firstly, like what's next for slots? I mean, you've been in the industry a little while. Like, where does slots go from here? Where's the innovation going to come from? I guess obviously from an art perspective, you're going to have some opinions, but where do we go now?
Well, I can observe how this industry is changing, right? Because like it's absorbing all this new technologies and stuff like that. So it's marching together with the evolution little by little. You can see the old slots when they were using frame by frame animation, stuff like this. And now many studios are moving into rigging and bone animation, like spine animations and stuff like that. So it is already evolving. I think the next step is going to be implementing 3D and then do some VR gambling games when you can, like, you know, walk in the fair trade, like here it is, like a
Yeah,
casino. That would be pretty fantastic, I think. Just imagine you put
it
on the
would.
glasses.
We've been talking about this for many years, though. Do you think that's quite niche? Like, how many years before everyone will be able to appreciate that technology?
Yeah, but I think the first step is going to be, of course, taming AI and going 3D. Well, AI scares everyone, right? This thing, what is happening right now, and the artists are losing jobs and stuff like this. So this still didn't touch animators so
Ah,
much as artists, so 2D artists, right?
okay.
But soon it will touch everyone, and then the non-experienced eye wouldn't recognize that this is done by human or by AI.
Okay.
Right now, you still can say, but I think soon it's going to be terrible.
So, are we going to be playing slots that will be made without a human designer and without a
No, it's
human
going to be
animator?
like controlled by a human, and I think this is going to be the most interesting part because like this will allow us actually to experiment more and to invest more story into the game, right? And
Okay.
maybe it's going to be more focused on mechanics and new things, anticipation effects and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different kind of approach, but I think the games are going to be more interesting for a player.
Nice. So we're not going to be killing you guys off anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's good. And
We
I
don't
guess
kill ourselves by ourselves. Yeah.
no, 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 exactly.
Suicide.
Um, and one last question. What's your next game? What's the studio got coming out? Give us a sneak preview. What are you excited about that's coming soon?
Yeah, we have a Frozen Age game, like a fantastic game about the journey to the middle of the Earth, center of the Earth.
Yep.
And it's done in a very, very rendered Gevorg style. He was working on this water blocks and Valkyries, so it's hyper rendered, I would say.
Okay.
Nerdy. Yeah. And I'm working on a Ghost Father. It's a ghost theme kind
Okay.
of mansion, old mansion with portraits falling down from the ceiling. There's a lot of ghosts and spooky
All
things.
right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for those. Yevgeny, thank you very much for giving us your time and your insights into an artist's world. And we look forward to seeing your game soon.
Thank you very much. Rock
Great.
on.
Feel the fun. Play Ojo.